In this video, I'm playing a three-point match against XG and analyzing it. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Let me know what you think in the comments below and what you'd like to see in future videos so I can work on that. I appreciate your super thanks. These small donations help me continue to create the high-quality content that you enjoy. And with the membership feature, you can get exclusive access to the most popular videos. My book, Backgammon Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description for where you can get it. And if you're interested in lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is in the description. Again, I'm playing a three-point match against XG on a beautiful red Gammoner board. The XG board is made by Rain. There's a link in the description to where you can get them. I'm playing the black checkers at the bottom, XG the white checkers at the top. And here we go with a 6-2 standard split, 2-1. Hit here and then come down here. We probably want to split if this were over here with an opening 6-4, I believe. Now with the 5-2 is going to come in and hit back. All right, so 3-2. I'm going to come in with a 3, and I can either anchor or just cover this one. Not under too much threat with this one back here, so I don't think I need to do that. Okay, 2-1. Not great. Okay, so 5-4. So I can do something like this. I can also hit twice here. So now I have 5 and 3 here. That's 8 and the 9th checker in the zone. You have a little extra in the zone to afford to do that, but I do have 3 checkers back. But I think this one just doesn't do anything for me. So I think that's the best. 3-1's going to come in with both. Now 5-4. Okay, so I want to cover. And with the 5, I really don't want to stack here. I don't necessarily want to strip the midpoint with 3 checkers back. However, it is a little bit better because I have these checkers split, so that makes it easier to make an advanced anchor, in which case the stripped midpoint is not as big an issue. 6-5 is going to come around. Keep that goaltender back. Okay, so now with the 5-1, I can come out here, but I think I want to do this distraction play. So this is what I call a distraction play, where you put this checker here to force the opponent to hit over here rather than using numbers to make these points. So for example, a 6 would hit here, but otherwise 6-1 and 6-3 are good to make this point. Okay, 4 hits here, and let's see, 4-2 would be good here. And then the 1 also hits, but 6-1 and 3-1 would be good here. So it duplicates a lot of the numbers. If I'm hit loose, I have a lot of return shots. And I want to provoke some action with 3 back versus 1 back. Okay, 5-3 is going to hit here. So now, here's the 3-1. There's the 1. And now, do I want to stay there? Do I want to come up? I don't know, maybe I'll just stay there and safety this one. I mean, I could also split, but I think that's too many blots. Okay, so this is a double. So looking at this, I have 2 back, 1 halfway back to 1 back, 2-point board versus a 2-point board. This is slightly purer 2-point board. There's also white owns the 11 point, which is a little bit better. The race is relatively close, only down by 10 pips. There are some threats in terms of hitting here, but I still have this anchor. A 3-way, you want to double more aggressively and take more cautiously, but I think this is still take, so we'll do that. The double 5 was awkward, so now with the 4-3, I can afford to come around here. 6-1 is going to make the point. 4-2, okay, so now I'm going to unstack these points, make the point. 6-1, okay, 6-4, now I'm going to make this blocking point. That was good. 4-2, can't move the back checkers. I think I want the builder here, although this is better for containment, but I don't want to do something like this. All right, so now I want to counter prime, which I do. Okay, so that opened up. So now, do I have a redouble? So basically, when you have a prime versus prime game, usually the person with more timing is a favorite. The other thing is, can I play 6? Yeah, I can play 6. If I were white, would I take? I think you can redouble, kind of like money, but I think this is a redouble here. All right, take. So what I'll do is I don't want to bury this. I can just create builders. Now 6-2 and 5-2 come out, but there are a lot of numbers that don't. Okay, 5-4. So if I come out, what's going to happen? There are going to be a lot of numbers that can hit. I think I just make the point, and then I can hit with 6s, come out with 5s. Okay, double 5. So 1, 2, 3, and I don't need to come out here. So now just contain. Okay, I can't come out with this one, so I'll have to play there. Although I can split, so that leaves 6-4, 6-5, and double 5. But there's a blot there. Otherwise, there's a better containment value, so I can do that. Okay. Now 5-4. So here, come here. It's a little bit better containment value. I mean, I don't want to dump this checker too deep. 5-3 is going to come around. Alternatively, I could stay here, try to get the shot, but I am up a decent amount in the race. So 4-1, I'm going to have to hit and continue. Okay. Now the 2-1. Come in with the 1 and play the 2 off there. Okay. So 4-1. So this is going to be a simple race. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6, and spread things out. 4 and 1, almost gin, and now it's gin. Now I'll analyze it. Okay, so with the 2-1, yeah, the splitting play is close. The other thing I was thinking of is let's look at it on a different board here. If it were like this, and this is 3 away, 3 away. This is virtually tied. So you see how close this is? This is a 2 millipoint error, whereas here it's a 15 millipoint error. The difference is the split was a 6-2 versus a 6-4 here. When the opponent splits with a 6-4, there's a lot of potential of good subsequent rolls, so you want to get things moving. It's a little bit more urgent. In contrast, when it's back here, you don't have to worry about the opponent making points like the 5-point and the 4-point, things like that, quite so much. Okay, so then 3-2 was cover. The anchor was very close. And then the 5-4. Okay, so this one was the right play, and this one was close too. The benefit of this is it brings another checker in the zone, unstacks this heavy 6-point, and it disconnects the back checker. So when there's one checker on the bar and then the other checker is on the 18-point or your bar point, they're 7 away. So there are only 6 numbers that are good to anchor. But when there's one checker here and one checker here, now 6s can anchor. Okay, so that was that. And then the 5-4, this was, yeah, just bringing it down and covering it. The 5-1, okay, so this was an error. Let's see, it preferred splitting and hitting. So this is nice because you make this triple split here. Bill Roberti calls this the McGreal split when you have 3 checkers split. And that produces a lot of numbers that cover the outer board or make an advanced anchor, such as the 21-point, 20-point, or the 18-point. So you can make the 21 with a 2-1, 3-1, or 3-2. You can make the 20-point with a 3-2, 4-2, or 4-3. And you can make the 18-point with a 5-4, 6-4, or 6-5. And if the blots that are left out here, you have multiple shots. Also, it does put a checker on the bar, so it creates 4 dancing numbers. Double 2, let's see. Double 2 would actually probably be really good. It would be productive. And let's see, what about 6-2? 6-2 would hit, not great, but double 6 would be really good. And after this, it becomes really bad. So That's some of the things you want to think about in terms of the swing rolls. Okay, so what was the original position? Yeah, and I didn't want to go out to the 16 point. Where was that? Yeah, this was a bigger error, but that was a big enough error. Okay, and then the 3-1 was to come in and safety that one. Okay, so this was a double and this was a take. Now let's take a look at this on another board and look at it. Uh, let's look at it from money first. So you see it's a borderline double, but a three-away, it's a strong double and the equity is higher. The reason for that is the wins on a 2-cube get you to the Crawford game. So that's a valuable score. That's why you want to double more aggressively at three-away. Okay, so let's go back to the original score here and see. Let's see, is there anything that would make it a no double? So let's say the race is like this. This is not quite as strong. Okay, and then what about if, let's see, if we do something like this and make it a little awkward there. Yeah, now it becomes a no double. So these are the types of exercises that I do that help you understand why it's a correct double or why it's not a correct double. Now, let's say I had the 23 point instead of the 24 points. Now it's still a double, but if the anchor were higher, now it's not a double. And let's see if this were here. What effect would that have? See, now it's a no double. This point is very deep. Okay? What if the opponent's second innerboard point was deep? That makes a big difference. Okay, so when you look at where the second innerboard point is, the higher it is, the better that is. So look at that. That becomes a pass. And this is probably a bigger pass. Yeah, despite the fact that the race is closer. Okay, so these types of exercises help me understand why things are doubles and why things are takes, or not doubles. Okay, and then with the 4-3, just come around. Let's see what else we had. The 4-2 was a good roll, makes the point. And the 6-4 was good. I make the blocking point. Then the 4-2. Okay, so this was close. This was better, but this was close. And it results in this position. So now I have 1s, 3s, and 4s, whereas here there's 1, 2s, and 3s. Okay, so I have a bigger number, so I don't crack as much. Okay. Then the 3-1, that was good. I make the point. And this was a small no redouble. So let's take a look over here. These things, some of the things are very sensitive. So if you do that, that makes it a borderline redouble. What if this were here? Is that better or worse? No? Okay. What if it's like this? Nope. And what if it's like this? Now it's much more likely that white will crunch. And if you do all the way like this, that's really strong, but still a take. Look at that. Okay. Prime versus prime is very delicate. Now, this one was interesting. So I just brought these two up, but that was a blunder. You're supposed to just slot the point, and that results in this position. What happens here is if it works better when white doesn't roll a 2. And after this, my 6s become awkward. So this is the resulting position after the top play. This is the resulting position after the selected play. This is the dice distribution of the 2. Okay, so on the upper left panel, it shows my resultant equity after the opponent rolls any of his 36 rolls with a double one, 2-1, 3-1, and so forth, and an average on the right. And this is after the top play, which again resulted in this position. Okay, on the upper right panel is the exact same thing, but after the selected play, which was this play, and it results in this position. So you see the twos are bad, of course, when you slot, but they're pretty bad anyway here. Okay, this is on the color scale is where blue is good and red is bad, and they're on the same color scale. And then in the lower right, this shows the difference. So what this does is it subtracts the equity value in a given cell in the panel on the upper right from the equity value in the corresponding cell on the upper left. So this tells you the swing roll. So blue here favors play A and red favors play B. So basically those twos, but it's only really a double 2, 2-1, 4-2, and 3-2 because 6-2 and 5-2 were bad anyway. Okay, so basically what it's saying is it works better when you miss. And even here, 6-2 and 5-2 would have been bad because it runs, but you'd rather be hit and gain timing so you keep your board longer. Additionally, we can look at the second rolls here. So this is the second rolls. These are my next rolls. And basically all my rolls, well, most of my rolls become much better. So you see the sixes, 6-4, 5-1, 5-4, 4-1. So if I make this play, sixes are good, like 6-4 is good, 6-5 is good. Those are good. 5-1 is good, 5-1. Okay. But after this, the sixes are forced to here, and I would leave a blot. Okay. So that's what I use the dice distribution feature for, and that is available to USBGF premium members. Okay. So then the 5-4. Okay, so this is the one that I looked at potentially running, but this was a little bit better, okay? This just wins more games. And it is a double match point. What was this redouble? Oh, yeah. The redouble. Okay, so let me go back and look at the redouble because let's see here. After double take, okay. So you look at the market losers, and it's really only double 5 and 5-4, which is actually not what I rolled. 5-4 would have made here and double 5. However, there are a lot of good second rolls. So when the opponent rolls a double 3, 5-4, 5-3, 4-3, so you want to look at this, basically the cracking numbers. So when you're looking to double, you need to look at the market losing sequences. So what sequence could happen so that it becomes a pass? And the sequence is 2 rolls, one by you and one by the opponent. So there are rolls like the double 5 and the 5-4 that can make this point. But also there's the second half of the sequence. So rolls with 5 that do not include 2. So like 5-4, 5-3, 4-3, those are all really bad, as well as, of course, double 5s, double 4s, double 3s, even double 2 is not so good. Okay, so that was that. And then the 3-2, that's the one we looked at, the 5-1. Double 5 was great. Just continue. 5-1, this is where you can split here. 5-4. Okay, so, wow, it preferred making this point. So 5-1. So see what happens here if they roll a 5-1, then you have shots. So that's what you want to think about. Here, I'm just leaving the double 5 as a joker. Yeah, so I can look at this quickly here in this dice distribution. Yeah, so the double 5 is a bigger joker, and double 6 too. Okay, See, it's a minus 487 versus minus 180 here. Okay. And then the 5-1. Where is the 5-1? Yeah, after the top play. It's slightly better, but I have shots anyway. Okay, so it was the double 6. Okay. Because the race is relatively close. Okay. Then the 5-3 was just coming in. 4-1, I had to pick and pass. And then the 2-1, I come in with the 1 and then bear off with the 2. So when you have spare checkers here, that's good. That's flexible. If I did something like this, this is a little inflexible. May leave a shot with a 6-3, and 5-3 becomes awkward, but also doesn't bear off a checker. All right, then the 4-1, take off a checker, and then this was basically a race. There was nothing really to look at here. Okay, so there was that, and yeah. Okay, so that was the 3-point match. It was just one game, and that's oftentimes what happens with 3-point matches, but that's okay. It's good to see like the doubling decisions and things like that, and change the scores. That prime versus prime, those are sensitive. So you saw it was a close double. It was a close no double. I doubled, and then also with the prime versus prime, oftentimes you slot those points that you want to make next, because it's what Palmer Grill used to call a good number anyway. Like the 5-2 and the 6-2 were good anyway, so just slot it. And if you rolls 5-2, it would have been good anyway. But if they don't roll it, then it turns out much better for you. Um, so a lot of the times, like people miss those, and I do too. Basically, you have to think about what works better if you're missed, and that's why that dice distribution is so valuable. You look at that and you can see. So the 2s were bad, but the 6-2 and 5-2 were not so bad. But the gain is you're able to make that full prime. So you have to kind of look at the risks and the benefits simultaneously. So that's what I do. When I go through any sort of match, I like to go through it, learn from the errors, and study that way. All right, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, what you'd like to see in future videos, so I can work on that. I appreciate your super thanks. These small donations help me continue to create the high quality content that you enjoy. And with the membership feature, you can get exclusive access to the most popular videos. My book, Backgammon, Backgame Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description to where you can get it. And if you're interested in lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is in the description. I look forward to seeing you in future videos. And until then, keep rolling your dice.